Mike's coming up here. All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's see. Oh, thanks for the, sub already. We weren't even live. Look at that. Thanks, Bradam. Okay, everybody. So just like last week and everything else, we are trying again with the dual streaming. I got everything as stable as it could be, running as fast as it could be. And so this should be going live to Twitch and YouTube. Says it is. We're going to find out how well that does right now. I think we're a little bit behind, but we aren't lagging like we were. It's more just that standard few seconds behind. What does everyone think out there? And good evening and all that fun stuff. And hello, Mac, and all that. Since you got here, we really didn't talk that much.
That's true.
We just kind of focused on getting set up for stream and everything.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh. All right. The chats all say there's people there, but no one is responding.
Indeed.
There we go. Okay,
Oh, wow. The color balance is weird.
Oh, yeah, actually on your end. Yeah.
My drink was a very odd color.
You are a lot oranger than you were last week.
Indeed. I don't know what's going on there.
Still so many little things to figure out here. I honestly think a lot of our problem is that machine back there just isn't powerful enough for this anymore.
That is a distinct possibility.
I mean, it is a 2019 iMac Pro with a powerful Xeon and all the RAM and everything, and it's running on SSDs that are, it's running on an internal SSD, but all the videos being saved over Thunderbolt 3 to a NVMe drive, so it's like, things are as fast as I can make that machine go. But when you look at like the build, those 2019s, the early 2019s were actually built in late 2017. So we're looking at a 7-year-old machine and I'm running the most modern version of every tool on it. I think we probably do need to upgrade some stuff over there at some point because it does not like pumping out multiple streams while also saving multiple files, even at only 1080p. Its dedicated graphics card that's built into it is an old AMD Vega, and so that is actually 9 years old. So I could go with like an external graphics card on it and do like the whole eGPU thing and put an NVIDIA over there, but by the time you've done like a $600, $700 eGPU setup, then you should have just bought like an M2 Mac Mini or something because it'll be just as powerful. So there's definitely some room to improve the hardware back there. My biggest issue is that the machine right here could probably handle all of that, but it's the one I'm using, and I plan on continuing to just use it and not waste its cycles on the streaming. That 3060 Ti is still, for some reason, really good, even though the 4090, the 4070 Supers are already out, the 4070 Super Ti or Ti Super, whatever, that one's already out. This thing's still keeping up pretty good for, a 3060 Ti is still a good card. But I'm not moving my 3060 over to the stream box. Not happening. That this is mine. So we're going to run with this tonight and see how stream does after all that I could do over there. It's not running barely anything in the background. Every app that could be closed is not running. All the startup apps are gone. It rebooted right before going live. So let's hope, chat. We are going to see what the quality of the saved files are too, because the ones from last week when it was going weird, I could not get anything out of those files. I tried to build shorts out of them, some little 5-minute videos out of them, nothing. Nope. That stuff was so badly out of sync, and it wasn't out of sync in a way where I could just shift the audio a few milliseconds that way or that way. It was out of sync in both directions randomly, and so I gave up. I was like, nope, those files suck. So we're going to see what this one does now. Whew. I am feeling a lot better, chat. Some of the medication I'm on is still making my throat a little off. You can probably tell my voice is still a little off, and I'm going to cough a little because just cannot clear the thing. But feeling-wise, I'm feeling a lot better. Things are just in way better shape at this point. breathing through both of my nostrils. It's absolutely amazing. So I am super happy about all of that. Okay, so how's everyone in chat doing? How you guys doing? Good day so far? Having fun? Getting things done? How about you, Mac? Having a good day so far?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I was at work all day, so, you know, as good as one of those goes.
As good as a full day's work goes. Being that I like feel good when I'm productive, like that seems to be some kind of a driving thing in me. That would probably help me out a little.
I mean, I don't know that. I suppose depending on what kind of productivity it is, I feel energized by it. This, I wouldn't say it was like miserable or anything, but I wouldn't say I'm feeling particularly energized as a result.
I see. All right, fair enough. Well, you still made it over, so that's awesome.
I mean, it also, like, I'd probably be, there are a lot of jobs where, like, I could do, like, 8 hours and I'd be fine. 10 hours, I'm usually a little tired.
Yeah. Oh, talking. One of those days, huh? You guys have all the fun tech problems? I mean, I literally, just to go live now, figured out that I had, as I was working through getting this system stable, which it now is super stable. I haven't had any blue screens, any problems. It reboots fine now, all that. But as I was working through all that, like some things happened and all my cookies and shit got reset. So I just had to re-log into everything. And you know all the extra steps you have to do when you're logging like into your Facebook when you've got it actually secured. But I need to announce us going live and everything. And so getting logged into like my Blue Sky means I have to log into my Instagram, which means I have to log into my Facebook, which I never log into. So it's like this whole chain of like logging in via, freaking SSO and OAuth and all the other fun stuff. And Facebook popped up with a message saying they were currently in maintenance mode and were offline. So I waited like half an hour before I could finally get logged into my Facebook. Now it's logged in, and I was able to send out all of my notifications and everything, and all the stuff to hopefully get some viewers here. But it's been a long time since I've run into the message from Facebook that they're currently offline when you try and log in. It's not even like we're in a maintenance view only mode. You can still get in. No. It literally said the word offline maintenance mode. But it's back. It only seemed to be half an hour, so who knows what happened there. I'm hoping someone did something fun and they had to deal with it.
I mean, it must have been something pretty serious for Facebook to go offline entirely.
Oh. So some of you might have seen in the Discord or on any of the socials that I have a new graphic for going live now. And I want to look over here and put me and Mac in the boxes and show everyone. I did a little work yesterday getting some of these images together because I want like the going live notification to be a little brighter and a little bigger so people actually see the thing instead of just the text I've been putting out lately. And so I used, of course, AI generators to generate part of this. And then I used Photoshop, Pixelmator Pro, and a few other tools, Luminar Neo, to get the text right because, we all know how good AI generators are at text. They're getting way better, but man, there were a lot of very weird spellings of my names, and the live nows did not say live now on almost any of these. So I went through and I made a bunch of these, and I figured I'd just show you the ones that I'm going to be using after all the cleanup to get the lettering and everything kind of to match what was designed. I love this one. I just love the colors on these things. There are some just absolutely crazy things, but like I chose the ones that were generated that were more normal. Like they had a camera where it might be, a microphone where it might be, and only one mouse. For some reason, AI loves to generate like 2, 3, 4 mouses on a desk. Like it loves to do that, and I don't know why that's its thing. This is the one I sent out tonight on all the platforms. It's my favorite of them all. We've got some kind of darker, later night ones here. I think I want to generate a few that are like early morning, much brighter ones for the early morning shows that are going to start next week. This one I did a lot of little touch-ups on, like adding the blue on the sides to kind of give it that wider look, fixing all the text down here. I couldn't figure out what to do to the C in Twitch there, though. I kind of like that it's a little off. This one kind of is a little closer to actual desk setup with the speakers and the microphone right in front of my face and all the kind of mixing stuff all over the table and everything. This one I love for like the neon on the wall and just the general kind of isometric shape of it. This one is a little off. That camera is definitely a weird looking camera and it's not pointing at the person, but I don't know. I liked the look of this, like, I don't know what it is. It looks almost like a DAC or something. This one I thought was kind of interesting with this giant, weird, like, microphone camera in one. I thought that was funny.
Indeed.
This one, again, is another one of those where I just loved the shape of it. And I do kind of have monitors all around me, so it's definitely working. It made the three-eyed version of the Twitch logo. So I just kind of left that there after fixing all that text up. Yeah, I think I have 12 of these, so that's number 11. And this is number 12. I tried to get it to generate a slightly wider one, but it just does not want to generate all the way out to the side in any kind of a 16:9 format. Like, I just cannot get it to do that. And there's the random floating camera in this one, but I don't care. I like it. So yeah, so all of my graphics are coming even more together. These are going to be used for all of the like announcements of going live and all that fun stuff. So just another step in the right direction. Especially now that we actually have like the alerts working and all the other stuff that people have had working for 10 years streaming. Finally, mine seemed to have kicked into gear and actually started functioning. Although it still says true whenever anyone gifts, and no matter what variable I change it to, that one just says true. I think my Stream Elements is literally bugged, like my actual account or something, because I can delete that one, bring it back, and it still only puts true there no matter what variable I place. So I got nothing on that one. I think we're just going to be true from now on for a while, unless I want to reach out to their support, I guess, which maybe I can do this week. But you know how it is when you've got, you know, the strong ADHD vibes and whatnot. Reaching out to support usually isn't your specialty. And definitely not mine. So good times, everyone. I forgot a button. I'm going to click the button just so it's running. Nice big numbers up there. Okay. Good times. What is it looking like over there? Yeah, right now everything looks like it's actually running right. Okay, so we have all kinds of fun stuff to talk about today. I have a few things. Mac has a few things. I'm sure Chad has a few things that they want to throw out there. Usually we talk about some of my stuff. We talk about Mac's stuff, and then I kind of ask chat, but we're on this little delay, you know, as we stream, it seems. You know, 4 to 5 seconds seems to be about what this setup is giving me. So instead of waiting forever for there to be ideas from chat can just throw ideas of things to talk about later in the stream into chat whenever you guys feel like it. Like, just whatever. Like, we'll get to it when we get to it. Don't expect that you say it and I talked about it that second. But like, let's just like get things going, you know, whenever they go. Let's start talking about some of the fun stuff. I don't know. Chat probably knows I talk about VR now and then that I like VR. I'm a fan of it. It is fun. I enjoy it. I do it every day for my workouts and everything. But this right here feels like a problem for VR. This says that let's get this actually up here correctly and get this all sized out right. Because I don't want it like just there. Yeah, like that. There we go. Now it fits on the screen. So if you want to know, the vertical stuff for the automated things for making shorts and everything, I was making it line up with that on the screen over there. So, you know, I love VR. I do it every morning for workouts and all that type of stuff. Apple Vision Pro is coming. We're like a month away from, you know, all the pre-ordering and all the ordering in shop to start happening and everything. Netflix is not making an app for it, but worse, they've made it clear they're not going to do the one simple step that Apple had provided that will turn the iPad app into a Vision Pro app. They're not even literally. It's open up Xcode, change one setting, recompile. They're not going to do it. They've said use the browser. Netflix works in Safari, so they literally won't spend the hour it takes to probably load it up, get it done, and get it published. I'm sure there's hours and hours of testing they need to do and getting one of the devices and blah, blah, blah. Like all the stuff you got to do as devs. But the iPad apps just work. They just float in there and they work just fine in all the demos. So this is really a slap in the face to Apple, which they've been fighting for a decade over things like the in-app pricing and the ability to subscribe in-app and all that other stuff like that. So they've never been friends, but this is not a good sign for like the Vision Pro's ecosystem if Netflix won't even make an app for it. I think that says something. I'm not sure exactly what it says. We'll find out as things go, but yeah, that's funny.
I mean, I think it says that platforms like Netflix don't see VR as a profitable move for them.
Yeah, like the dev time will not pay off.
Yeah, which maybe given Netflix's budgetary issues,
yes.
might make sense for them to start actually caring about. Maybe they should have done that a while back, in fact.
Hey, maybe if they don't do this, they'll also not cancel half of the shows they started this year.
No, they'll totally do that.
Yeah, just upsetting everybody. So, I don't know. We'll see on this one. So, I don't know if chat remembers, age-wise. Some people might not have even kind of noticed it. But 2006 Coachella, Daft Punk comes out of kind of nowhere. People really were down on them. Their last album, Human After All, hadn't done well. Nothing up to, Discovery or, just any of their earlier work. And critical, failure. All the critics hated it. I think it was a great album. But in hindsight, now everyone's like, oh, yeah, I loved that album. I mean, even though all the critics said they didn't at the time. Mm-hmm. So I just randomly was on another website doing a thing, and an article came up talking about Daft Punk's 2006 Coachella and how it kind of changed the landscape and made EDM, techno, house, that type of stuff even more popular in American music. Nowhere near what it was like in France or Germany. But in the article, it says this. And again, I'm going to kind of fix the size of this and get it lined up right, because I do want this on the screen. I don't know why it did that jump, but sure, why not, browser? So this is like the 9/11 reference out of nowhere. It was sad. It was a sad commentary on America's isolationism that it had mostly missed Orbital's Brown album and Underworld's Dub No Bass with My Head Man, only to catch both artists' less spirited but refined follow-ups. When America finally learned it was part of a global community, it learned it by way of crashing jetliners. I'm reading this article about Daft Punk having a good concert that turned out to kind of change the shape of their career going forward, and a lot of musical taste over the next decade and until now, really, and just random 9/11 like what? It made it hard to continue the article. Like I sat there for a second, like what the fuck was that about?
It's a bit of a jump.
Like just
like wait, what?
Okay, everybody, sure. That's where we are, huh? Yeah, I mean, the article also got a couple other things wrong. Like it was talking about Cleveland and Chicago being like the beginnings of early underground techno in America, and that being in like 95. And I remember going to raves in 92 and 93 in Dallas's Deep Ellum neighborhoods way before that, like illegal ones where rundown warehouses were just broken into, and we'd be there for a few hours before the cops showed up and raided the place and you had to run out the doors. Way before those other cities. So, I mean, the article got like everything wrong. And we weren't first either. Like there was shit going on in California and New York before that. So just, I don't know, this 9/11 reference just threw me and I thought it was hilarious. And I guess we're at a point where I can say I thought that 9/11 reference was hilarious and not get canceled. Oh, well, there you go. Ugh, that was hilarious. So chat, is everyone waiting for this? Can everyone believe we are going to get a 40-minute apology video? It says following his multiple indiscretions, but in many other articles they talk about almost the entire video is about anti-Semitism. Kanye West deciding that it's wrong to be anti-Semitic and that Hitler might have actually been a bad guy is supposedly what this 40-minute video is about that we're going to get maybe next week. I am not a fan of Kanye, and especially not a fan of all the stuff he's done or said, but I will watch this because it's probably going to be the longest, worst train wreck of an apology video we've ever had. Yeah. And I just like... all of the YouTube apology videos, I've watched every one of them wondering like what people were thinking when they were making them. And I don't know what I would do if I ever had to make one of those. So I don't know, that I would do better. But I'm going to try not to get in the position where I need to. Yeah. Chat over here is going wonky on the screen. There we go. Right, talking like there was a point, like, there was a point like early 2000s into mid, 2005, 6, where there were things going on there where musically it was very interesting. I will not call him the musical genius of a generation, or any of that type of shit.
That hype is just hype.
If I'm going to anyone to even come close to getting that kind of a moniker from me, it's Tyler, the Creator. It is not Kanye West. And I will die on that hill. Igor was an absolute masterpiece, and New Magic Wand is by far his best song. And another hill I will die on. But yeah, I can't wait for this video because this is going to probably be sad and hilarious at the same time. We will see.
There is always the remote possibility that it's basically entirely scripted by his PR person, and we have to wait about 4 months for him to like melt down again. But I see it as inevitable either way.
Indeed. So some of these are just going to be tweets from me from the last couple of days because I've been like, almost like logging everything I want to talk about in tweets. An interesting thing happened over the last 2 days where Troy Hunt's Have I Been Pwned, which people should be checking to see if they're in the latest data leaks and whatnot for their logins, their emails, their passwords, other data, put out that they had received the data from the Naz.API leak. And now he again said this was like from 4 months ago. This is actually the Naz.API stuff happened 7 months ago, not 4, for one. The leak that he actually brought in was the same data set that was dumped on Breach Forum, like in September. So it's one that many people already had, which is a good reason for him to add it because it just, it's out there. So you should be notified. But it's a collection of a lot of other leaks that was put together. Now, a lot of those leaks that were collected into the Naz.API one were private, like they hadn't been dumped on any of the easy to get to forums. They weren't on ones that you could all just Google. They were relatively private. They hadn't gone wide. So it was a very good data set to have if you had it, right? But Troy did not get the whole thing. He got about half of it. And it's also seemingly mixed with a few other data sets. So it's not even really this one. So that is all to say that if you do actually want to find out if you're in the Naz.API leak for real, you should go to search.0t.rocks. And I think we can actually pull this up if it's not currently knocked offline. Yeah, so earlier it was getting hit a little. This has the full Naz.API leak in it. It also has a few others, but it has the full one. And I love that they changed their example query that you should look for to Troy Hunt's, name there. I think that's hilarious. But you can query this for all kinds of stuff and find out what data on you is out there and in this database. Of leaked data. But if you're looking for the Naz stuff, don't think you're going to get it all out of Have I Been Pwned. And the other thing from his data set is it's not actionable. Like, it's great that he told everyone. I'm not saying it's not, but that leak, the way it's compiled in the data set that he has, doesn't tell you what password you need to go change. Here, you're going to get enough data that it does show you what password you need to go change, which, if you have passwords that are going to make it into these types of data sets and are going to be cracked in that way, you should probably be changing all of them to something more random, more unique with a generator. But anyways, I just wanted people to, be a little safer out there. So check search.0t.rocks. This used to be, I think, named illicit.services. But this is the same database, same set, same guy who runs it. In my tweet, I even linked to his Hacker News profile, which if you have a company or something, I'm looking at the last person to comment here, and you want to find out if your data made it into this set, this email address right here, he is willing to take email directly from corporate entities and whatnot and talk about giving them the full set of data related to their domains instead of having to like scrape through all of that data. You know, if someone wants to do that, you can come and email them at RiseUp. So that is that one. And again, you know, I don't need to post it. It's on my Twitter. You can just come here and his link is in the follow-up one. Then we get to Billy Mitchell. I don't know if anyone else here is following, you know, Billy Mitchell for the last few years, but I love this story, and I've been following Karl Jobst's, work on it, all of his videos, all the court cases, because I just think it's just entertaining. Billy Mitchell is, of course, the person who the King of Kong documentary was made on, and he cheated a lot in every possible way, and I'm going to say that out loud to everyone in the back of the room, no matter how many times he sues people, because all the evidence is very clear. Now, his lawsuit is ended with Twin Galaxies, the keeper of all the records, who said they had to invalidate all of his records because they were fake. He used an emulator, not a real arcade box. So everyone reported that the lawsuit was over and that his wonderful, records were reinstated. But that's not what happened. So there, if you go find any article out there, the IGN article especially was just brutal. The title of it was Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong Historical Records Reinstated After Multi-Year Dispute with Twin Galaxies. If you go watch Karl Jobst's video, you'll find out no, it wasn't. The cheater is still not in the database. They agreed to put up an archive of the old database before he was removed as a historical archive of what it looked like before all of these court cases on a different URL, but still keep him banned from the current leaderboards. That is what he got after years of suing people. That is not a win, and he has not been reinstated. And so I just felt like I needed to yell at one of the people writing one of these articles. Now, I don't think Kat did anything horrible here. I think everyone was writing that stuff. It was, 5 minutes into the story, and everyone was putting up. IGN had to get, the story up. So, I'm not mad or anything. I just think, the record should be corrected. And when all the articles updated the body of the article to say, oh, yeah, the reporting was kind of a little early. No. He's really not reinstated. None of them changed the title of the article. Damn it.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. Now, what I think is hilarious is the proof that he cheated is in the loading screens for levels in Donkey Kong. And there's a way that the level looks when it loads on an actual old school original arcade box. And there's a way that the level looks when it loads on MAME. And so Twin Galaxies, after putting up that archive, is now selling these shirts and mugs with a version of the loading screen from MAME for a Donkey Kong level, which does not look like the arcade at all and says not arcade, as just a slap in the face to kind of prove the point that he did cheat. And I think that's freaking hilarious.
That is very funny.
That's just...
I had not seen that shirt.
That is awesome. All of this stuff is, nothing has changed for Billy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if there is a link to, excuse me, the merch store here. But yeah, you can see the shirts, the mugs, they went hardcore. They've got the hoodies, like everything. So yeah, no, cheater is still a cheater, is still a cheater. And I think that's funny. This I also think is hilarious. So let's look at this. YouTube's Skibidi Toilet series is under investigation by the Russian police. A concerned citizen, a Karen, if you will, reported to the police that Skibidi Toilet was definitely bad for the children. And the Russian authorities are now investigating whether they should be banning Skibidi Toilet from the country. For anyone who doesn't know what Skibidi Toilet is, well, you have not been paying attention to the world. I will not play, his whole videos or anything, but he has also made it very clear that anyone can. I'm just not going to. But what I will do is go here and pull up one of these. This is just episode 65. This 2-minute video has 87 million views. Now, the thing to understand about this shit that's crazy is his newest video from 2 days ago already has 26 million views. So this thing is like cultural phenomenon. Every single kid is watching these. The premiere of this video I clicked on because I'd never watched a premiere. I wanted to watch it when it premiered. Had 897,000 live viewers for this 4-minute premiere while I was watching it. It's utterly insane. I get why people are looking at it. But just the fact that Russian authorities are investigating whether to ban Skibidi Toilet is hilarious to me.
Well, it's not like Russia has any other problems they need to deal with.
Yeah, like they, as I said in the tweet, like this is what they should be spending their time on.
Definitely.
I think it's hilarious. I also said I would die on the hill that Skibidi Toilet is actually a masterpiece. And I do believe that. The storytelling is amazing. The character building is amazing. The character arcs are amazing. It's a well done series. Better than, I think, any of the Gmod stuff from 10, 15 years ago that was going on. Personally. I'm sure there will be arguments for that, but, whatever. I love it. Russia, why are they investigating that? That's so crazy.
And meanwhile, also in Russia, apparently there's a video that came out showing Russian riot police in Bashkortostan running away from rioters.
Oh, yeah, they're now scared of the rioters. That video is just, hilarious.
Yeah, just the contrast. Russia's considering looking into YouTube videos. Meanwhile, the riot police are running away from rioters.
So Zuckerberg has talked now finally about his new mission, which I guess isn't VR anymore. Now it's AI. But specifically not just all the other stuff they were playing around with. He, like Llama and all those, he wants to actually create AGI. And he actually gives an argument for the fact that they aren't going to be able to create the products they want to create with the features they want to create without AGI. They need it. So there's a bunch of articles. This is just the one that I read. But he says that they have 150,000 NVIDIA H100s that came in last year. And that they have a stockpile by the end of the year of 600,000 GPUs to be powering their AGI efforts. What? Holy crap.
The capacity is incredible, but I feel like he is overlooking what's more important when it comes to developing AGI, because the hardware limitations slow down the rate at which you can do stuff. It doesn't mean you couldn't, they should maybe focus on the underlying theory more.
Well, I'm sure he's doing the same thing he did with VR, and he's throwing $30 billion at the problem, even though it's going to lose $35 billion somehow.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of money they've lost on VR is insane. And all I've got to say, and I'm going to say this, and everyone can hate me for it, but thank you, Zuck, for the amount of money you've been willing to burn on AI or on VR. Because I get to do my morning workouts because you've lost billions. And so I kind of feel good doing the workouts because I realize how much money it's costing you. I feel like, I'm part of the helpful thing. And yeah, I do not do my workouts in anything related to a metaverse. No.
I am pretty sure literally no one does.
Yeah, I don't think there is one for that.
I don't think Zuck does.
No. I'm sure he just plays around in Supernatural and Beat Saber, the two that they own, and won't use the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, much like OpenAI, Zuck is now going to throw billions at AGI. And I think like you said, with the power issue, it won't be the amount of GPUs like they're able to throw at it, or like Google or OpenAI are throwing at it. And by way of OpenAI, Microsoft is throwing at it. I think it will be the intelligence of the humans putting it together. So I still think when we get the first real AGI, and I mean like this is provable, I don't know what Turing test we're going to use for an AGI, but when we like are all looking at it and we're all in general agreement, yeah, no, that's AGI. It's probably going to come from Carmack's startup. John Carmack of ID Software, Apogee, and of course actual VR fame. Because that's where the intelligence is, not the budgets of these others, but the smarts.
Yeah, if I had to guess, anyone that's currently working on it and like actually has a organization devoted to it, Carmack probably has the best shot outside of some university somewhere that has a team that no one has heard of.
Yeah, exactly. And Budo, I tried to play around in the metaverse just to see like if there was any redeeming qualities, like the whole Horizons world things. And the only thing I open up the Horizon world for is to go to the NBA one when the Dallas Mavericks are on it, so I can watch the Mavericks game from courtside, because it lets you do that. And that is literally the only thing they can get me to load that app with. Like I use this thing for 2 hours a day. And that's the only reason I will ever open that app, is to go watch, my wonderful basketball team. Dude, all the things in there are so rudimentary. Like, it's so useless. There's nothing fun to do. And you go to these worlds where people have spent like months building out gaming activities on these worlds in this metaverse, and you get there and there's nobody. They're all multiplayer, and you're waiting around hoping someone joins so you can at least try it out. Nope, no one's there. It's empty. Ghost town. So even if you wanted to like play around and give it a shot, you literally can't do anything. The last person I ran into in there that wasn't in a basketball game was one of the Facebook employees whose jobs it is to randomly run into people and offer to show them around. The helper. Like support staff. Like that's the only people I'm finding in the metaverse is literal paid employees.
That tracks.
The one thing, I mean, Budo, I'm kind of there with you on that, but the one thing I would say is Carmack is no longer working for Zuckerberg. He went off to do his own thing, but he did come back to one of their last like events and give like a couple minutes of talking. So I think they might be talking enough that Zuck might still be able to kind of collaborate a little on the AI stuff. So maybe he does have access to, some of Carmack's genius for some of this, and then he has all the GPUs. Maybe there's some of that type of stuff.
Possible.
But you would think they'd be NPCs being powered by like llama or something. But no, it was a human, and man, he was trying to be helpful. Like really, like you want to play this, you want to play that, and I was like, where's the other humans? Where
he was just so excited to find someone to talk to.
I'm sure he was being paid to be there, and like I was the first person he had seen in like 10 hours.
Like I am so bored. Oh, thank God someone finally showed up.
Right. So on the whole AI front of stuff, this wonderful vulnerability came out, this week, a couple days ago. It's called LeftoverLocals. Listening to LLM responses through leaked GPU local memory. So I will just go down really quickly to the part that matters most. All Apple M series, most of their iPads and iPhones, AMD with the built-in AMD chips and the AMD discrete GPUs, all Qualcomm built-in GPUs for all of the phones, all Imagination, which is Google's fun GPU stuff, which is in a lot of their stuff like the Pixels and whatnot. We're all vulnerable. NVIDIA graphics cards and the ARM-based graphics chipsets, like the Snapdragons, that are specifically only for graphics, not the ones that are multi, we're not vulnerable. What this allows you to do basically is load up in 10 lines of code a thing that will dump like 5 gigs of data out of your GPU's memory and then reconstruct the response from an LLM. So like if you were talking to one of the various local AIs like using LM Studio, you could, in some kind of piece of malware, be listening in on the person using the LLM. So that whole thing I was talking about where, haha, use a local and don't get caught, actually,
maybe not.
If someone was like, say, the NSO group or someone, decided to get malware on your machine, they could be using this and listening to it. Luckily, it's getting patched by almost everyone. Half of Apple's products are already patched, and by the end of the week, most of the rest of them will be. And you would have to be seriously locally targeted on purpose for this. So this is like, don't be scared if you're doing the things that we talked about last week. But it is just, another sign of things. Like everyone had been protecting the local system memory and all of that, but the GPU driver space has been so fast to ramp up on all the AI stuff that a lot of them just hadn't been able to keep up on the security side of things, just with the pace of development. So this is getting patched, and as you can see down here, they're talking about like the brief and all the other stuff. They're talking about mitigations. They're talking about who's working on it and all that. The reason that NVIDIA is not vulnerable is not because they weren't vulnerable, but because specific attacks on their hardware have already been done since they're the world leader in this, that they've already had to patch shit like this for like years. Just no one was really focusing on the other chipsets, or at least publicly talking about all the other chipsets. So NVIDIA's was vulnerable at a point, but is no longer. So this I find interesting. NASA was in front of Congress at one of the congressional groups there, talking to them all about space and getting to the moon and getting a moon base going, because we have the Artemis missions lined up to first get some people there, but they only go around it. Then Artemis 2, they get there, they land, they look around with a little rover. Artemis 3, maybe we start thinking about a base, maybe. China is saying by 2030, they might have a base on the moon, and our Congress is saying we can't let them get there first with a base, because whoever gets there first gets to kind of set some ground rules. And I guess they're not entirely wrong on that one.
Sure.
My problem is I never really believe Congress for long-term projects anymore.
Yeah.
Because everything changes every 5 minutes just because of what will get someone elected, like a Republican deciding that his new platform involves taking all the money away from the Democrats at NASA. Building out plans where Congress tells NASA, kind of like, Kennedy said, we're going to the moon, but years down the road. Like, I just don't believe years down the road anymore. I don't think Congress can stick to that.
The sad part is they easily could just like be like, all right, we're going to allocate the money for it this year. And then NASA used that money, yeah, just get everything in, get the pipeline rolling. But they're not going to, because that would be expensive.
Yeah, W did indeed tell us that, moon bases were coming very quickly. So Mike Griffin, who's the former head of NASA, director of NASA, is now, co-founder of his own company, LogicQ. I say that because I hate people calling that Logic, because that's just dumb. So I'm going to say it like that. Former, director of NASA and all that. After everyone else had talked, from the accounting people to current NASA people, everyone else to congressmen, Mike gets up there and says, our big problem is that Artemis isn't good. This isn't going to get us to beat them. It is the wrong mission, and it should be completely defunded, and we should restart from scratch with a completely new funded thing. So we have a mission that's already set to go, that has astronauts already training and ready to, actually blast off and all the other fun stuff, that spent a lot of money. And here they are arguing over getting new, bigger budgets so they can push this mission forward. And his response is, fuck all that. We're going to start over from scratch again, spend way more money that we don't even have. and put us years behind again in an effort to beat China. Like, his logic is flawed in every way it can be flawed.
Yeah, that seems like a conversation. Like, if you wanted to beat China and China's planning on 2030, that might have been a conversation to have like 2010, 2015.
That could have been a conversation to have when he was actually running NASA.
Yeah. But 2024 seems a little late to be saying time to start over.
So I'm in this weird spot where, you know, I try to think in terms of like imperialist bastards and all that, right? Like we are as a country, not, you know, me and Mac, but not you guys, obviously. You're all wonderful. I, you know, love y'all. But, you know, we as a country have kind of been imperialist bastards. And so the idea that we have to beat China there because we're going to be the ones that bring freedom to the moon still feels a little off.
Yeah.
But I also do think they're kind of right that if someone's going to be there first, I'd rather it be us than China. So,
given those options,
you know,
I guess
it's the whole do you vote for Biden so we don't get Trump argument, right? Like, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, damn it.
I mean, I have a alternative proposal, like make a deal with China, do a joint mission, make arrangements so there's like peaceful power sharing.
And do you think any Republicans would sign on for that?
No, I also am dubious about whether China would, but...
Oh, yeah. China thinks they're ahead now, so...
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they'd see a benefit to doing it that way, but I don't know. It seems like it would be the better move overall for achieving that desired outcome.
Indeed. I mean, I love the idea of actually there being bases on the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. And some international cooperation might actually do something to like address some of the international tensions.
We will have international cooperation on moon bases as soon as the 2024 reunification of Ireland happens. Okay? I'm just saying. You know, as soon as data is proven correct, we will have this thing you talk about. So let's see here. That one we talked about. I left this up because when it reloaded, I wanted to see. And yes, still trending. #1 in news is SyphilisDon. Thank you, Liam Neeson, my favorite Twitter account. Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. I mean, just this is the best. Now this is the version of it that you can do. I learned earlier when I retweeted someone who had put out his new name, Leopard Paw, Leopard Paw. That was actually ableist. And upon thinking about it, calling him Leopard Paw is absolutely ableist. And so I deleted the retweet really quickly and got rid of it and everything. And I was like, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. And again, it's one of those where you think, I should have seen that. But, you know, you can't see every blind spot. But that one, I still felt like I should have seen that one. This one, however, is fine. And Liam Neeson is currently crushing it. And just, I mean, if you're not following good old Liam Neeson here, you should. You really should, because this is just the best Twitter feed of all time. Yeah. Good times. But SyphilisDon still trending #1 and should continue to. And if anyone, of course, didn't see it, this picture is why. You know, those weren't there, and then 2 days later they were. You know, there are names for that.
I mean, I did see a thing from a dermatologist saying that they think it's probably a rash, and it could be caused by almost anything. Like, there's just any number of things.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't have to be syphilis. This is just hilarious.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Because you know it gets under his skin.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You know, spread it as a meme, but like, don't pretend it's actually true.
Right.
It is a real picture.
Yes,
what the explanation is, probably very mundane.
So, I don't think that Habba Alina Habba,
Oh God.
is a real lawyer.
No, how does she do
I've
these
been
things
told
and
by
actually
other
have
lawyers
graduated?
that the bar is actually a joke, so it's easy to pass. So maybe she is.
I have heard that it is much easier than people often think. But yeah,
this right here,
the degree of incompetence is incredible.
with all due respect, when I rule, you go on. Like, I mean, the judge is literally having to tell her to shut up like 20 times a day. I don't.
That wasn't. I don't even think that was the funniest one.
Oh no, there were
the
a
one
million
from yesterday
others
about trying to introduce evidence.
Yeah,
while
yeah.
she was like talking, and then the judge was like, "That's not how you introduce evidence." And then she was like, "I'm trying to introduce it now," and he's like, "We're going on break." And you can take the opportunity to go review the rules of how you introduce evidence.
Yeah, this whole
That
thing.
was my favorite.
Thank you, Inner City Press. Thank you,
Yes.
Matthew Russell Lee, for being
Yes.
there and typing this fast.
Yes, it is fantastic.
Yeah, just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And the lines of questioning, too, just like every point Habba's trying to make, even if made, would be meaningless.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if the judge just sat there and said, all right, no, make your point and put that into evidence, it wouldn't help the case. Like,
Also, I saw a video from Bo of the Fifth Column talking about something related to this and saying that he talked to someone that actually has experience and knowledge of the judge in question. And apparently there are two things that judge really hates. One, courtroom shenanigans, and two, victim blaming. Which,
Yeah.
those two things are apparently Trump's legal strategy. So
yeah, it's going to be really tough to get that through.
Probably not great for him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just ugh. I don't know. Reading this transcript every day has been just joyous.
Seriously, I watched this. I'm like, how am I not allowed to practice law? And she is.
Right?
I haven't even I haven't gone to law school or anything, but I could definitely do a better job than this.
I mean, the number of follower growth here, I think there were like 20,000 followers before this started, and now there's 200,000, and Matthew deserves 1 million more.
Indeed, he does.
It's just been amazing.
Also, that his pen tweet about getting kicked out of the UN is also something people should probably be aware of.
Oh, absolutely.
He is a legit, has a record as a reporter, and the UN just kind of arbitrarily kicked him out because they didn't want people asking questions.
Yeah, pretty much. And that is to be expected at the UN.
Yeah. Much like the U.S. government, they don't want reporters actually doing their jobs. They want friendly softballs.
So, as we see in most war zones, especially ones where war crimes like genocide are happening, the internet has been cut off now for a week in Gaza. We are now at 7 full days, and we know that bad things happen in the dark.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's a whole article here explaining that it's partially restored, but it's partially restored. People are still having serious trouble. This is another one of those signs where you find out that the people doing the genocide know they're committing war crimes and don't want them reported on.
Mm-hmm. Which, very interesting that they didn't want that. But meanwhile, Bibi Netanyahu is coming right out and just kind of saying the things.
Which is what I've put up on screen. Israel has to control the entire area from the river to the sea.
Yeah.
He has outright said out loud that they are just going to take all of that land and rule it themselves.
Yep. Also, for all those people that say that from the river to the sea is an inherently genocidal phrase, well, here he is using it himself to describe Israel's policy. He also explicitly said, quote, "For 30 years, I'm very consistent and I'm saying something very simple. This conflict is not on the lack of a state of Palestinians, but the existence of a state, the Jewish state. Every area that we evacuate, we receive terrible terror against us. It happened in South Lebanon, in Gaza, and also in Judea and Samaria, which we did it. And therefore, I clarify that in any other arrangement in the future, that's not the one I was looking for. There was, where was it? The one where he literally... well, I mean, that it was related to the statement about river to the sea, but it was a different part. He was talking about...
that he doesn't support there being a Palestinian state.
Yeah, he explicitly rejected there being a Palestinian state, period. So,
so it looks like they're just going to take it all and people are going to let them do it.
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
I mean, it is interesting. We keep getting some contradictory reporting about where the Biden administration is on it, because we get like public statements from, State Department saying, we're still supporting Israel. But we also have reporting that like Biden hasn't actually talked to Netanyahu since before before Christmas, when there was a conversation that ended when Biden said, "This conversation is over," and then hung up. And there's apparently a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes where they're very frustrated and not supportive of what Israel is doing, but still publicly providing support to Israel. And
still selling them weapons and working like, special deals in Congress to get them more weapons and more ammunition.
Exactly. It's very weird that like they're doing the bad stuff publicly and the right thing to a very limited extent in private. You normally expect that to be
definitely
like,
off.
You expect that to be kind of the other way around. They do the good thing to the very limited extent in public, and then the bad things in private. But no, in this case, it's reversed.
That is just insanity. It's genocide, and it should stop. One thing that I did learn this week is that I found really interesting is I love this image right here. If we both go to jail, we've agreed to become pen pals. That one is just great. But let's see if I can actually go to where is that wonderful reply? Because I replied to one of John Cusack's posts and replied specifically to someone else in that post. Let's see if we can find it here, because it got way too much traction. More than I was expecting for a reply to a reply to a reply. So if we look here, Cusack just puts out this statement to a post that's now gone, that he's not quite feeling sympathetic to people who can't condemn genocide. And then this genocidal maniac Ivan, does this quote from a Hamas official, and I responded simply with, "Stop supporting genocide. It isn't hard. Look, we're all over here doing it. See how easy it is? Just stop and try to be a good person by calling for a ceasefire." Well, John Cusack there, he retweeted my response to this guy. And then all of the responses started coming in from all of these Zionists.
That is generally what happens when you say anything critical of Israel on social media.
And
they like to.
I got into arguments with lots of them. It was just there are more if I click on this, but they get even worse. You are not a good person, Gregory.
Gregory.
So if you would like to get yelled out by a bunch of Zionists, get John Cusack to retweet you. Turns out to be the case, because that was quite a day. I just kept yelling at everyone. I thought it was hilarious. So the DOJ has put out their review, their article describing what they believe happened at Uvalde. and it has 5 key takeaways. A failure to recognize active shooter situation, where they say officers showed up and did nothing. And then a failure to take courageous action, saying leadership in law enforcement is critical, and they should have run in and gone to the classroom and stopped it. And then failure to secure the crime scene, talking all about how right afterward, the bodies were just kind of pulled out into the hallways. All kinds of people, including even like parents, were just walking around the crime scene. And then failure to establish standard operating procedures, talking about how like their templated operating procedures that it looked like they had downloaded from the internet did not apply directly to this school or this jurisdiction. Failure to communicate with families, of course, talking about, the idea that they tried to pose this heroic storyline where the first responders were heroes, when in reality they had spent all their time keeping parents from going in and saving their children because the cops were cowards. So the whole thing is just utterly damning. Like 575-page report. Where the DOJ just says, fuck you, all of you. You did everything wrong that you could do wrong.
Remember, our cops are professionals.
And I will remind everyone, ACAB 1312, fuck cops. There is no amount of money that will train cops not to do what happened here.
The problem is not training, or I guess you could say that in some cases the problem is training. It's the training they are getting, not a lack of training.
Correct. Whew. Okay, chat. That is all the tabs I had open for things. We were a little over an hour in. So what do you got, Mac? What didn't we talk about?
Well, so a couple of, we covered most of what I had as well. A couple more little things to add on to related topics is that, of course, the Senate voted against a measure by Bernie Sanders to, make military aid to Israel conditional on whether the Israeli government is violating human rights and international accords. And 72 senators voted against it, and only 11 supported it. So, fuck the Senate. They are all trash. Well, yes. Apparently there are 11 of them that aren't complete trash. So, yes. I guess there's that. But, fuck all of the rest of them.
100% agreed.
Also, we had yet another case of a apparently targeted killing by the IDF of a journalist. Where a Al Jazeera team was hit by an Israeli airstrike, and despite being not very far from a hospital and being escorted by the people that actually coordinate with the IDF so that journalists can operate safely, they got hit by an airstrike, and then the IDF prevented them from evacuating a wounded journalist who then basically live streamed his own death because Israel refused to allow medical evacuation.
A longer list of people besides just CNN who are doing all of their coverage through the IDF's review process was put out online yesterday.
Oh, I missed that.
That included 10 other orgs that are all because they want an embedded reporter in IDF actions, the IDF gets to review all of their shit. So it's not just CNN. It turns out to be almost all of them.
Fantastic. Explains a lot about a lot of the coverage we've seen.
Indeed. Yeah, but fixing the power grid, Portia, that's not, I don't know. The capitalists don't really make any more money if they do that.
No. And besides, the people that die will probably be poor people anyway. Why would they care?
Indeed. So what else is out there, Mac?
So we also had, so there was a thing from the CEO of, good old JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon.
Yes, the Trump supporter.
Yes, talking about how why won't we be mature and listen to these fascists? and how Trump was right about basically everything. So as usual, Jamie Dimon is absolute garbage, and just demonstrates that he is human trash and is wrong about pretty much literally everything that ever comes out of his stupid mouth. Speaking of people who are, completely full of shit and basically everything that comes out of their stupid mouth is wrong. We had the new leader of Argentina, Javier Milei, who decided to accuse the World Economic Forum of being a bunch of socialists because blah, blah, blah. And as usual, he just said a bunch of dumbass fucking bullshit that is just wrong about pretty much literally everything. And then, of course, Elon Musk was like, he's right, because, Elon is also that guy.
Yeah.
There's not even really anything worthwhile to say about what either of them said beyond just they said a bunch of dumb bullshit with no basis in reality.
Well, I liked all of the responses. So Elon this week has been complaining that he's going to do all of his AI work and robot work outside of Tesla unless he owns 25% of Tesla. And he said, I just won't trust it unless I own 25%. And other people who own, big stakes, literally publicly saying, so buy stock like the rest of us. Just, it's over there. People are selling it. You can just buy it back.
It's available. There's a market and everything.
You're the one who sold it. Go buy it back on that market. And of course, he just is ignoring all of those calls for actually spending his own money. Because, well, he spent it all on Twitter, which he's tanking into the ground. Yeah, dude. So Coinbase earlier today, they compared trading crypto to buying Beanie Babies as a way to convince regulators to kind of stay away because they don't want crypto sales to be considered securities. And so they're arguing that it's like Beanie Babies.
Man, what a colossal self-own.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is definitely real money. Actually, it's Beanie Babies.
Yeah. So the exact quote was William Savitt, the lawyer for Coinbase, saying, it's the difference between buying Beanie Babies Inc. and buying actual Beanie Babies. I understand why they're arguing this point. It's just not going to work.
I mean, I see why that's their strategy as a legal argument, but man, that's something I would say about it to make fun of them.
Oh, there are definitely stories. There's entire documentaries on people who lost fortunes on the Beanie Baby bust. I mean, the same as, a certain group of people way back when on tulips.
Yep.
It's all the same. No, well, that's weird because I've also compared the whole crypto thing to tulips too. Yeah.
It's weird to see the advocates making these comparisons now.
Do they? Now they're literally, yeah.
Is that where we've gotten to?
We've gotten to the point where it's all tulips, all the way down, like turtles.
I guess I'm just glad that we can agree with them on something on the topic.
Yes.
It feels weird that they're saying the same thing we've been saying, but I guess I'm glad we're in agreement now.
Crypto stuff, right? I wanted to figure out why a specific thing was so heavily trending the other day, because there was a new crypto thing that was just trending like holy crap, nonstop all day long. I think it was named Stardar, some new crypto thing. And I tweeted this out. I'm going to switch it back over to this one. So I tweeted out this. Who reads this tweet and says, oh yeah, I totally understand that? Is this another thing on the long list of reasons why I'm poor and have a negative bank account? Because this is nonsensical. So the tweet was, this Stardar, but the S is the dollar sign. And the guy says, 6 hours from now, what do we think this is at? Best guess gets one Sol, as in Solana, as in that whole cryptocurrency, blockchain, whatever, on top of Ether, blah, blah, blah. All stupid. And they're talking about these 4 coins, Slow, which is a gently used 2001 Honda Civic. That's its real name, and its thing is $SLO. Used car, which is actually like SMOLANO, sure. $Stan, which is the Stanley Cup coin, and $Stardar, which is actually named the Grumpy Cat. Now, my problem with this tweet is not that, he might not be making sense to someone, but when he said, what do we think this is at? He's going to give people a soul, which is worth about $100, so I figured I'd respond. But what is this exactly? Is it the value of slow? Or the value of one of these? Is it what Stardar was worth? Is it the order they're in? Is it the profit percent of one of these? What is this? It's so ambiguous.
Get what he's asking for.
I
understand the data I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But
I know what profit percentages is.
Right.
I know the current value of a soul compared to this. Like, I know all of this. This all makes sense to me. The market cap, the value, blah, 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 blah. No worries. The change in the last hour, in the last 6 hours, that's all basic financial charting, no problem. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I have no idea what he is asking people to tell him.
So he responded to my retweet saying, post a guess what it will be in 4.5 hours. Right, I'll bite. What am I guessing? Is it a word, a number, and a number of what? He responds, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I again say, it's ambiguous. What is this? And he stops responding. But just looking at how this thing was trending, and looking at all the responses, I didn't understand a single tweet I could read, other than people saying Stardar to the moon or I love Grumpy Cat. Those are easy to understand.
Sure.
But what the fuck are these people talking about, man? And why do they all have so much money? How, what? What is, I wish I understood that tweet enough to then say, oh, great, I'm going to win the soul, and then I'm going to ride it to the moon for $1 million. Nope. That tweet made no fucking sense to me, guys. Nothing. I don't know if anyone else has any idea what this is, but, underneath of it, people weren't even guessing. They were literally saying, Stan will be there. I fucking know it. What? Where's your crunch bag? Stan gonna make you rich. No one's throwing out an actual guess either. They're just saying you're printing. Now, down here, finally, after if you actually look at the real responses instead of just the top responses as Twitter does it, this is the 500th freaking response, and it says 200% total. Guess in soul. Now we know what he was asking for. But oh my God. I just don't understand how these people what? So if you had gotten in while it was trending, you're right here. And so you could have definitely gotten out on a high before it came back down. So there was a pump and a dump here. And, I think that's actually a financial term. Just these people and now, of course, everyone's just giving away their start art now that the dump has happened. I don't understand any of it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That felt like it didn't feel like I was reading an actual conversation between actual literate people. It was almost closer to bots interacting.
It really did feel like those were all a bunch of those Twitter bots who then report back to Telegram, and then somehow whatever's happening in Telegram is turning into automated activity on the blockchain. People are just running bots that are doing all their trading for them, but they're actually also talking to each other now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be very surprised if it was 95% Twitter bots because Twitter, but
it's insanity.
But yeah, I do these people have how do these people get any sensible thing out of that statement? Is what I don't understand. No, do they have exceptional reading comprehension or just no reading comprehension or guessing wildly?
The only time I would ever play around with this is if wherever this guy, because his tweet came out right at the bottom before it took off. So he's obviously somewhere, and so are other people where they know when the next one's about to hit. And when I went and read all the others in that thing, everyone was like Stardar to the moon and Grumpy Cat to the moon and all this other shit like that. And so there's somewhere where it's getting announced like this is the next pump and dump. And they're all hopping in and then hopping out at the top. Well, not all, but the ones like this guy probably
the people in that group that are in communication there.
So if someone wants to put me in that group, then I'll play along. Otherwise, I'm not playing along with the pump and dumps.
I mean, I would guess Telegram is probably, or Signal or something is probably
they're literally all on Telegram. Like if you read all the threads.
Somehow I suspect the people doing things that are, things that can actually get you in legal trouble if you're not rich already, they might not be doing it on Discord.
Hey, Grok, is all crypto spam on Twitter just pump and dump scams? What does Grok think? Oh, the platform is rife with pump and dump schemes. Thanks, Grok. Good. I'm just glad glad that it admits that that truth there.
Indeed.
Is Elon one of the scammers? I really think I wonder how. What? What is this tweet here? I haven't had Grok ever give me a tweet. Ah, interesting.
Wow.
This is the nicest thing Grok has ever actually said about Elon in front of me. Let's not be too quick to judge, shall we?
I mean,
maybe they finally got some of the alignment for pro Elon built into the damn system.
Yeah, they must have, because that looks almost like custom written.
Let's switch it to regular mode. Are you sure Elon isn't a crypto scammer?
Wait. I feel like this is the wrong way to ask that. You should ask it, are you sure he is?
Oh, right.
Get it prime to agree.
Yeah. You can definitely make it agree with itself by telling it that it already told you that and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Grok failed to answer that question. Something went wrong. Please try again. And this is the state of Grok. I actually get this a lot talking to it, so I think that's hilarious. It doesn't like those questions, and I don't ask it really anything else other than that type of shit. I think it's hilarious. Elon, if you're watching, give me $1 billion and I'll stop. Simple as that.
I think that's what was it called? Financial blackmailing him with money, and therefore you can go fuck yourself or something. That's what he said, right? About the Twitter advertisers.
Yeah. So,
the most expensive cars in the.
Let's not play Mr. Beast's video because I don't need any strikes or anything. But so Mr. Beast posted this video a few days ago on Twitter, and everyone went nuts because, oh my God, Mr. Beast is finally uploading to Twitter, when it's actually just one of his older videos that was already up on YouTube and everything to test monetization. Now, 107 million views. Let's look. I got 6 million views, and that made me $10. So he could have easily made $150 here, maybe. 107 million views on YouTube will get you a lot more than that. My question: does anyone believe whatever his payout that shows in his dashboard is actually going to be the same one that I would have seen? I think Elon and friends, personal opinion here, I'm not stating a fact, but I think they would go in the back end and make sure that he saw a better payout from uploading this, so he might continue.
I mean, he isn't a Nazi, so Elon might not give him the full payout that some people might get.
True. I just think if this is a test, the results, well, I don't think they're going to be things you can trust.
No, I do not think they will reflect what a average user getting similar engagement would see.
I do love that Carl Jacobs responded, this video sort of reminds me of that one time we all did what's in this video. Because he's just reminding everyone, as your friend Carl, that this is a re-upload. Which is just hilarious. And of course, Kim.com is, far off the deep end at this point. Really wish he wasn't, but he's definitely far off the deep end now. Yeah, I just thought this was hilarious because I won't trust any of the numbers because I don't believe they're going to be true numbers. I believe what we saw with mine were probably pretty true average numbers.
Probably.
6 million views got me $10. I think I would have to have, 10 million followers on here to start making any real money with it.
Well, you see, your problem is you aren't tweeting things like #white genocide.
If I started agreeing with Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, I might actually start. That was Tim Pool's move. I'm definitely not doing that.
Tim Pool's move was also being like the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Because he is quite possibly the stupidest person on the planet.
I was trying to find a way to disagree with that, honestly, but no. Because a lot of times
really
the people who make the move over there aren't dumb. They're just, not morally or ethically on the right path.
Yeah.
But they're smart enough to see where the money is and how to extract
they're
it.
Pure grifters in a lot of cases.
Right. So I don't necessarily apply intelligence on that one. I think morals and ethics. But then having had so many conversations with them, I think you might be right.
Yeah, he says the reason I think that he's outright stupid in a way that I don't even think that a lot of the right-wing grifters like, Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens or whoever are, is that he says like just needlessly and pointlessly dumb shit where he could have made his same stupid point in a less stupid way.
Right.
That still would have appealed to his crowd.
Oh my God. Okay, everyone. What else is there to talk about tonight? God, we made it an hour and a half in already. I'm surprised with the amount of material we had.
Yeah, I am too. I did say one other interesting thing I saw. A paper just came out in PLOS 1 that was comparing in principle, it was comparing humans to great apes in terms of their presence of a theory of mind.
Yep.
And they found that like kids, regardless of culture, had a theory of mind or were able to understand the idea that other people also have preferences. But at least the experiment they did seemed to show that great apes do not have that. And I won't say that there are some flaws in the experiment. Like they only used kids that were like 5 through 11. They didn't use any like pre-verbal kids.
Yep.
So I wouldn't call it a entirely definitive result or anything, but it was a very interesting result that I would not have anticipated.
Yeah, because there's been many other studies in the past that have shown that they might actually have that in them, and so
Yeah. Also, it seems like there's a lot of things that seem to suggest that, or from what I've seen, it seems like I would have guessed that there were other primates that had the ability to recognize others and their goals and preferences. Seems like something that would be within their capabilities given other things that we've seen. But it in this particular the idea that apes in a community will give gifts to each other and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a interesting piece of evidence that maybe that is actually something that's possibly unique to humans among life on Earth, or at least among our close relatives. Maybe it evolved independently in something else and hasn't been identified. But I just thought that was an interesting paper that's out.
So, talking about a couple things we've talked about in the past before, switching back to the old camera box here. Figures robot that we showed, a few streams ago, a couple streams ago, who knows. BMW have actually inked a deal with them to put these robots to use in their South Carolina plant. So the first of these robots with an actual like job is coming up here. The Figure O1 will deploy initially, but we don't know how many. We don't know the exact thing. They're calling out that they're going to be general purpose, but they're talking about like training and all the other fun stuff with them. But yeah, so the first of these AI-powered humanoid robots to actually have a contract to work in a company's factories or warehouses that aren't their own, such as like Tesla's bots obviously going to work in its own. I mean, because they have both. But Figure now has a contract, a signed deal with BMW to put these robots in use.
And it is, unsurprisingly, at a plant that is not unionized.
Yes, good old...
What a coincidence.
Huh. That right to work seems to not be much of a right, huh?
It's okay. The robot will have the right to work as much as the owners want it to.
And this is an interesting number to me. So Bing gained less than 1% market share since adding Bing Chat. Bing's results became way better after all the AI integration and the Bing Chat stuff being built in and AI used summarized results and all that. And we heard a lot about Bing over the last, year and a half with all of this. And I really would have thought they would have gained more than 1% out of that. I mean, you've got to be sitting there at Microsoft wondering, what do we have to do? We provided that amount of free AI, and we still only got 1% back. I think a big part of that is the contract that, Google has for default, on Safari and in iOS. That definitely hurts their ability. And plus, Google having to own the Android ecosystem.
Yeah.
So it does make it harder for them to gain on the mobile front. But just the amount of free AI they gave out to only get 1% back is crazy to me. I mean, that's billions and billions of dollars spent for 1%.
Well, I mean, I think part of the problem is also the fact that despite all of that, their results still aren't any better than Google's.
No.
So,
and Google's results, I mean, just suck these days.
Oh, yeah,
I just
they've
can't
gone
stand them.
dramatically downhill over the last
decade. I just don't use them. I still use Kagi. I have a subscription to Kagi, KAGI. Kagi is brilliant. If I'm looking for code stuff, then I'm on Find. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys that, but Find is definitely the search engine to go for that. It's search and AI kind of built together in this wonderful model. It's also got chat. It's phind.com. And it's, got your choice of things. And for free, you get, 10 GPT-4 uses on it. But you can ask this thing any code-related stuff, and it gives you code. It'll answer stuff related to tech things like, how can I know if my website was scraped? And it'll tell you how to design systems to check on that, or how to read your logs to check on that. You can ask it questions about AI. It's really up to date on all of that type of stuff. So when I'm talking AI searching or code searching, it's all about Find. And when I'm searching for literally anything else, it's all on Kagi.com, because Kagi does a bunch of really cool things. Like if I'm searching for me, like let's just, search for me right there, right? Let's say I didn't like my own domain. I don't want it to show up anymore. I'm not going to do it, but I could go here and I could start to play around with it. I could come here and I could actually block this result from ever showing up. I could lower its weight in the weighting. I could pin it so it shows up to the top of searches like this. I can do all these really cool things. And what that lets you do is if you ask like, how do I stupid in Python? And literally just whatever the fuck, right? And you suddenly like on freaking, Google, you get these 50 results from sites that have just scraped Stack Overflow. Over here, you'll notice I didn't get any of those sites. None of those weird, random scraped Stack Overflow sites, because I've already gone through these search results and said block on every one of them. So every week, my search results only get better with Kagi. And then they also have tons of other built-in stuff, AI stuff, just all these. It's just better. So yeah, I cannot go back. I just can't go back to Google or Bing results. Using Kagi and Find gets me everything I need. Yeah, 1% is still 1% of a billion is still amazing, but I thought this one was definitely, that's a lot of money for 1%, and I think they're learning quickly that maybe it's the enterprise. They have already the Copilot for enterprise. OpenAI has inked their first college deal with ASU, Arizona State University, where the whole college gets access to the full ChatGPT enterprise solution that also allows the college itself to like bring in a lot of its own material as an embedding. So it when the kids at school are using it, it can go through all of the college's material too. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out because it's the first university to sign on to that setup. I don't know. All I know from ASU is that, I keep hearing things from people on podcasts about how they get shit for going to ASU because it's where idiots go. But I mean,
I do seem to recall it being kind of a notorious party school.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying David Spade says that. And he
David
went there.
Spade says
and
it.
he went there. So,
Oh, well, I mean, that's the best evidence I've heard so far.
I do like comedy podcasts, so the Fly on the Wall one with him and Dana Carvey, I always enjoy. And they joke about, what a wonderful school he went to. So anyways, I want to play the games we play at the end of the night. I want to do those, and while we're doing that, maybe chat can also come up with anything else they want to talk about. And we are going to get our gaming special guest over here. Because let's be honest, chat. She's way smarter than me.
No, I'm just a better nerd than you.
Sure. No, you are indeed more intelligent. We are going to go through some games now, though, and I have not played these today. One of these days,
You'll have done them all in advance.
one of these days, it's going to be penis.
It's blocked, I promise you.
That does seem very, very likely.
Okay. So, we now know where the O goes. So is it, the L is not there.
S something OLE. Maybe.
Stole? Yay!
You don't have a T in your set though, right? It's such a common.
I do not
Yeah.
because I figure it's probably there. Ooh, what country is that?
I've seen it 200 times.
We're going to go Ghana so we can see if we're in Africa because it feels like it is. Down that way. Chad?
No.
Straight down from Chad.
Not actually Central African Republic.
I don't think so. I don't think it's the right shape either, and I think that's a little farther down. Yeah, so we got to go farther down. It's the wrong shape for Zimbabwe, but it'll get us so it's above Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
below Central African Republic, and it's definitely on the west coast. Okay. And it's too far from Ghana to be anything like Senegal. It's not Mali because it's too far away from Chad. Is it Congo?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Congo or DRC. No, DRC is the one in the middle. I don't think that would be right.
Oh, nice. It wants to do that.
So,
Yeah, it is the Democratic.
oh,
Yeah.
huh. I thought that
Once we were
Western
only
border looked
784 from Congo, it was probably that.
wrong. Yeah, there aren't very many options once you're that close to Congo.
And we got there. It took all guesses.
Yeah.
I've been pretty good at this the last few of them. I've gotten it in 2 or 3 the last couple.
Yeah.
You should scoot over a little. Get more in shot.
All the way outside the frame.
Come on. Okay, so let's go Tradle, everyone.
Okay, what do we got?
Sowing seeds, rough wood, soybeans, stoneworking machines.
1.98 million. This is something very small.
Very, very small.
Other sugars. Man, I cannot see most of that. What's the one next to this?
Papua New Guinea. How close am I? Actually, not that far away.
Is that, say, soybeans next to sowing seeds?
Yes, soybeans. Let's do this so chat can actually see the thing a little better.
Why are hydrometers their own? That's
1.98
This feels-
million. That is something so small. In Southeast Asia.
I mean, it's out in the Pacific, right?
yeah, no, this is definitely South Pacific.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Wrong way.
Papua New Guinea there.
Yeah. I was thinking the arrows were.
What
reversed.
are the island nations out there?
So
This every time.
yeah,
I
once we're
never
out there-
remember all those little island nations out there in that specific region.
I'm trying to think.
I think the Marshall Islands aren't a thing. We're going to go Fiji just for the hell of it.
It's not Fiji. We got it in one last time because it was water. It was like all water.
Oh, that's right.
Fiji.
But it's that way from Fiji, so it is really like just out there in the Pacific. Really? It's not coming up on that one. And there's no Tua. Cook Islands. Let's go. No, way farther.
Where's Christmas Island?
I don't know. Let's find out. Way far away.
This is why I hate this.
Yeah, I just don't know those islands. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
Definitely not the Caymans. We're gonna do this one, even though I definitely know it's not that one. I mean, that one's like 1 billion miles away. Yeah. What are all these islands? I mean, the goal of this one is to actually learn this stuff.
It is.
So we're gonna go Australia because it's wrong,
Yeah.
just to get another guess in, and then see what the actual answer is. Norfolk Island. Okay. Should have guessed that one. Totally.
I think I'm gonna have to start like before doing these games, just spending a minute
With maps. Okay, this is Framed. It's a movie.
that is a period piece.
Yes, these are definitely 70s,
Yeah.
late 60s, 70s cars. 70s cars.
Is actually that old with how weird those trees are.
And is that
Mount St. Helens?
St. Helens there?
Or the wall?
Yeah.
Because
could
this
be.
looks like an American kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Was there anyone? Wow, Dante's Peak or something? What's that?
I don't remember that one very well. I vaguely
No.
recognize the name, but
Yeah, I honestly don't know this one. I want a different picture. That did not help at all.
Oh no! This is fucking.
Oh, yeah, air.
Yeah.
There you go. Because that's them watching footage, right?
Yeah.
Boom. See? Smarter.
I'm not. I didn't hit him. That was
That- you saw that, chat. I haven't really gone into it, but no. I got this one right last time in one, my first guess, because I always guess Egypt, and it was actually Egypt yesterday, and that was awesome. So I'm not going to guess Egypt first this time, because that's never happening again. So we need a new first.
okay.
So the new first is San Marcos. Or San Marino, that one. The new one is the itty bitty little one right there that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the size of actually as small as the Vatican.
That's
Indeed.
horrible. Why?
It's 5,000 miles away from that, so we're going to go China. And China's bordering it. So North Korea.
Mongolia.
Yes!
Oh, there we go.
Boom, I got it in 3. All right, see?
That's your game. That's your game.
Solid.
I really do crush this one, and I love this game. Look at that, everyone. All right. It was North Korea, which I guess is a vibe. I mean, global definitely doesn't avoid anything. It was Palestine like a week ago. They're just kind of someone's back there doing something. All right, movie dole. Everyone might remember this is the one where we get to see 1 second of video.
Don't like. Oh, it was the guy from the thing. The Death on the Line. I don't remember his name, but that was the actor. You know who I'm talking about. It wasn't that movie.
No.
What else has he been in?
We're gonna skip and see one more.
That's absolutely him.
Yeah. What? My Dinner with Andre?
Yeah.
And Portia, chat for the win. Thank you, Portia. All right. That is not a movie I have seen. Is that a movie I should see? I like old movies, so like, someone let me know if that's one of those ones that I should have known.
Come on. If you fail this one, you're done. You are done. Come on. Just type the name. I'm not even saying it.
Yeah.
I don't want to, though.
Just type the name.
Can I type it really slow? Is it that one? I mean, that was. How did anyone get that one wrong? There's no way like anyone got that one wrong, right?
People who didn't see it.
Look, I'm pretty sure even those people could have at least guessed the franchise.
Right.
Maybe they might
This
have
is a
gotten
TV
the
show.
wrong movie, but it would have still been an Independence Day film.
I'm gonna guess Yellowstone because they're outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of.
I recognize that. It's kind of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Got it in 2. The first image, there's no way you get Breaking Bad from that, but everyone knows that RV, even if you
Yes.
haven't seen the show. And if you haven't seen the show, well, I mean, you know, what's wrong with you?
Maybe they have better things to do than watch the Doom protagonist be doomed. And specifically doomed to be an actor.
Hey, it's that guy
With that guy
in that place.
shaking hands with that.
Because it's not that guy. That's not the guy I was referring to when I said that guy. It was that guy.
Oh yeah. 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 So I have a guess.
But when?
Okay. Well.
Which one of the years was it? Oh, yeah. We got to do the thing where you guys can see the whole image.
Yeah, that would probably help.
Right?
Seeing as how I could see only about half.
Hold the side of the screen because they're missing part of it.
Let's get
Yes.
it to the full image, but get it on screen somehow. How close can we get it? I think that'll work.
All right. So I don't think we're gonna get any good detail from this.
So we've got Gorbachev, we've got Reagan, we've got obvious Russian.
Important people. And
So
child with extremely nervous father. Look at that hand.
we're going to go 83. I don't remember when he actually visited. So
Yeah, I thought it was later in his term, but I could be misremembering.
88. You were right. Later. Still pretty good. I mean, I was
Yeah.
only 1.7K off.
that. Yes.
It's not bad. Okay.
That is a maple. This is a modern. How modern though? Water bottle, soda can,
That modern.
phone. Somebody at this thing has a phone.
Is this the one event ever where people don't have their phones
Oh,
out?
there she is.
Oh, there she is.
All right.
And that's a pretty modern phone. It's got the flat sides and everything.
Yeah. No masks on.
Oh, wow, yeah. Huh. Man, from the clothing, I would have guessed a little older than than that era of phone.
means it's most likely not in like 2020 or 2021. You know.
Yeah. No, just from the clothing, I would have guessed before smartphones, but
I feel like this has to be post. This feels like 22.
You think it's 22? Okay.
I mean, you were the one looking at the phone saying it was super modern. Do you think it's?
I don't know. I mean, I think this could be 18, 17, around there.
Okay.
I'm only doing this because then you're going to be right. Okay, so now where is this?
So this is a thing that's traditionally done in England.
yeah,
And a couple of other.
That architecture definitely looks
it does.
It's very, very British.
Yeah,
very British.
I don't know where, but
yeah, that could be like just about anywhere as far as I could tell there.
I mean, it's probably famous, and so we're just being stupid, you know?
Yeah, it is probably a famous location, but famous for one specific thing.
We're going there and there.
oh, okay.
So 2023, you were way closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was in Sweden.
Oh, I mean, I guess that does track.
That's a bad score. 6,300. Oh, hello.
Oh, this is fun. Like,
Voto comunista. That flag seems familiar.
A little bit.
okay, so marketing again when Sputnik is that's 50.
7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
And that's definitely like one of those space age cars, like, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
was 58 an election year for them?
That I don't know. I'm just like,
That's some dramatic architecture there, but I don't like
it really is, right? They normally don't do two in the same region, though.
to what?
Like, because we already had one in Moscow. So I'm going to say this one maybe is over here instead.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say this is 57? 58.
Oh,
And
wow.
Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced on what language that was.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was possibly, it didn't look like Spanish, but it definitely looked like it might be a Romance language. But Hard Rock Cafe,
The signs there.
Black Fist.
Right, I'm just looking at the tech.
Yeah.
The guy who took the picture that we're looking at has a much better camera than the guy holding this.
Which makes sense. This is an organized protest. These people are participating. The person who took the camera is going to be a journalist. Is this the Slovenia, Slovakia? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. What year is that?
That's the thing I'm failing on.
Wait, zoom enough. Like, is that a year there?
Possibly.
Yeah.
13, 23?
It's either 13 or 23, and I want to say 13 with what I'm seeing there. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's too many people with actual cameras and nobody with a phone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, one guy with a phone.
that's definitely not a 2013 phone.
Okay, 23 then.
Oh.
Like-
Yeah. No, that definitely does not look like a 2013 phone.
So what if we do 23?
You got it at 22.
Oh.
I'm not letting
Probably. Probably. I was 1.3 kilometers off. And you were right with the 2013.
Wow.
How is that a 2013 phone?
Right?
It has a lot less features than you're thinking.
Fair enough. Wow. Really close on the location.
Okay, that's Thai, right?
I believe so.
The little bit of Mandarin Mexican.
It's Cathay.
That does look like it could be Thai script.
Weird.
Where's Cathay? Do we know?
Where's what?
Cathay.
Oh,
Literally, the name of the
yeah, no.
place is right there. Isn't that Thai?
I think it is, but I don't know where in the country it is.
We're gonna go
I mean-
Bangkok. But what year is this?
Photo quality tells me 80s, but
Yeah, maybe. Air quality, photo quality. The vehicle's certainly consistent, but it could be more modern, and that's just old, like older vehicles and older technology involved.
Yeah, I mean this dress, like the way he's dressed, just feels like 80s to me for the area. Right? Let's go 87.
Yeah, plausible. I mean, it could.
92.
Yeah.
I was 5 kilometers away. Dang it. I want to be closer than that. We had one the other day where I was literally 1 meter away on like 3 of them. Like 1 to 2 meters away. Oh, we almost got to the 40 mark. 40,000 is kind of where I feel like we did okay.
we got too married to England.
We really did. We really did.
Also, we should have looked at the language on Sputnik. I got too excited by Sputnik.
Yeah, yeah.
That's me. That's my fault.
Okay, travel.
Tunisia to Georgia.
Tunisia to Georgia.
Yeah, that's probably the safest way.
Libya gets us there.
Egypt.
Then Egypt there.
Then we've got to go through some contested territory.
And we gotta go Israel. Lebanon.
Syria? Or no, Syria's.
Would go that way, right?
Yeah.
How do you get north of Lebanon? No, Jordan's like
Jordan southeast.
That's Syria.
Yeah, yeah.
Syria's right there, but like, isn't there a bigger one right there?
No. Syria's right.
Okay.
All right, so after Syria, I'm in trouble.
What's right north of Syria?
That's not Turkey, is it?
Turkey's either 1 or 2 away.
Yeah, Turkey is actually probably it.
Yeah.
It's the one that's big enough to connect them both.
Yeah.
So did we get there as fast as we could? We were off by 1. What did we do?
What was
But
this?
in Lebanon, you didn't need it.
Oh, I didn't need it
right.
because Syria would have gotten us there with the Lebanon. Yeah.
Right.
I love this game. It just like this one even helps a lot more with like where things are in the world.
Indeed.
This one because, if you guess wrong, it still gives you some context.
Yep. Okay, chat. You want to play Guess the Game?
Oh, no, I do
What?
not. You and Jack can play this game.
Okay.
I hate this.
This is Tekken. Right? That's Tekken 1. I mean,
Yeah.
beat that, guys. I mean, really, So anyways, I like that game. I mean, you can speak a little louder into the mic is what I'm being told.
Oh,
Or you need your own mic.
or I could just, go in the kitchen. I'm not wearing shoes.
But you're not pregnant. That's your choice. Okay, we are going to play
It's a fun
Connections.
game. It's the best game.
No matter how many times I know the instructions, it still wants me to know the instructions.
Okay. Blue, green, white, yellow. We've just got colors there.
Yeah,
wait,
but that's a
wait,
trap.
wait.
That's a trap.
Also, there's scarlet. So.
Yeah, that's a trap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, scarlet, peacock, white, green.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
clue.
I haven't even read half of them, and you're already doing this.
This,
Like,
this is no.
dun dun dun.
How dare? How dare? That was
Let me read them, man.
Wow.
the best one.
Yeah, no, that
That is a missed opportunity on their part. They should feel bad. I'm not feeling bad about that guess at all.
No, that was a good guess, definitely.
Grandstand, posture, peacock, strut.
Yep. I knew posture and strut were together. I just definitely I hadn't put the grandstand in there, but yeah.
Who would have been so good?
Show off. Okay.
It's gonna be blue, green, white, yellow. They put it in there just to make us think that like.
Ah, yes. Supreme, main,
Yes.
paramount, and where's prime? There's prime. There's one.
And then if we do the things that aren't colors, it's scarlet.
Chain letter, love letter,
Yeah, they're
scarlet
all
letter.
Yep. It is just colors in Brazil's flag.
Really?
Okay,
Wow.
sure. And these are all letters. Yeah. There we go. Hey, we got there pretty good. That's not
The
bad.
first one was good.
Yeah, that should have been it.
That would have been so good.
That would have been way better.
I want to make sure that we talk to whoever does these.
All right. The mini crossword.
I have no idea what they want for
What's one down? Rock cover.
Oh, it's moss. And then the one across is being moi.
Yeah, that does work. Probably.
MWAH.
Yeah. Ring. Who's the letter from?
Why did it do that? I know, but I clicked in here, and sometimes it'll do like that right there, where it's on that one. What's 7 across? Weather forecast symbolized by a yellow circle.
No, then rung instead, and it's sunny.
Yeah.
What? Do the thing I want you to do. What's 4 down? Give an award.
Honor.
There we go. I thought it would dude, it made me type the other one. I hate this interface so much. What's 8 across? Investigate furtively.
Snoop.
Yep.
And 3 down is probably annoy.
Oh, and the 9 across, 0. And 5 across or not. Okay, 6 is a. Oh.
Typo. Kaboom! Congratulations, we win. I just hate the interface to this one. I don't
that interface
have any idea for a better one, but I just...
It's really standard for.
This is the dumbest game by far.
This is a dumb game.
Home and Body Botanical Herbal Hand Soap Glass. How much is it? It's $10.
Oh.
It's not.
It's
It's
$20.
an 8-pack. There's no way.
It's $40.
Yeah, that's probably closer.
$30. It's $35. It's $36.99.
It's your final offer.
Look at that. I got it. When you get within $1, you're right. I won Cost Codal. It's so
That's
stupid.
a terrible game.
That is just...
What's wrong with that?
What is... Ugh. I keep not deleting it, although I should. Now, would you guys like to play hard mode?
Oh, is this the word?
Yeah.
connections one? Oh, God.
Water,
We're going to die.
job,
Bird.
bird.
Yeah.
What?
Right. I win these.
Why bird? Pelican.
No,
You know, I mean,
no,
just-
I'm sorry. Puppet.
Dinosaur.
Puppet. Okay.
Huh. Animal. Bird. Animal.
Animal. Okay, that gets us closer.
Cage. Parrot.
monkey. Getting close. I think our best was like a few days ago when we got it in 25.
Yeah, something like that.
We got one pretty close. Well, I was going with chat.
Okay, well, Candy doesn't know what she's talking about. I love her, but she doesn't know what she's talking about.
That wasn't me. That was her. Monkey. Elephant. Elephant's, up there, right? Yep.
Okay.
Africa. Monkey. Monkey. What else could there be? So we've gone elephant, monkey. Wrong. Definitely wrong, but I'm gonna type it. Also wrong. Notice. Closer, but wrong. Kangaroo is one away.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jump. Jump is the right one. What's the capybara?
What?
How do you spell that?
Why? Yeah.
It is totally right.
It was actually closer than I expected. Oh no,
That was wombat. There we go. On the list. That's all that matters.
Why am I blanking on their name?
Koala. I got it. Koala. 26. We still didn't beat our 25, but we got close. Koala.
You're welcome.
It all started with bird. Thank you. That's all the games I think we actually play anymore. Are there any else on? Yeah, we can't play like half of those because they're like multiplayer and all of this other stuff. I'm still just happy about, guess the game, getting Tekken in one there. That was easy though. That was, good times, chat. All right. Anyone got anything else before we head out at the 2-hour mark here? I definitely need something to snack on, so I think we're gonna call this one tonight. I do want to mention that I put in the announcement channel on the Discord, and totally everyone should get into the Discord if you are not. That next week's going to be my first week trying to do every day. I'm going to spend the weekend kind of preparing for that, figuring out what preparing for that even looks like. My health is at a point where I feel like I could. I think I'm going to do the morning ones I was talking about, and then also some evening ones. Like this Thursday night one's still going to be Thursday night. I don't know if that means on Thursday that I do a little morning and then I do a little evening. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be one on Thursday. But we're going to see how that works now that my health is, recovering here, or if I'm going too fast. Because I could be doing that going too fast thing. But we will know after next week. Anyways, I hope chat can be here for some of that. Although the streams will go right up. They'll be on YouTube by midday because, honestly, just waiting for their encode times. And the shorts will be up that same day, hopefully. That is the goal of the experiment. I don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about in the mornings or how we're going to kind of word that. Chat had said, you guys had all said that you wanted to see some of like my workout and stuff, maybe some of the VR stuff. I don't know that I will have that ready for next week. Seems like a lot to be asking of myself personally, just if I was asking myself to do all of that plus my first full week, but maybe we need to fill some time. So maybe we do some of that. I do have the camera set up in a way in which we can totally do this if it wants to. Look at that. It's the wacky portable cam. So like, here's my setup. Look at that. You can see it all. But I do have this, so I could migrate over to the workout area, put it on a stand, and then have it, doing the work here. And then, look at that. I'm on camera. So we could probably do this because I do already have this part built out. This is the same setup, although the words will be changed from portable. That's so hard to do. From portable right there to say like VR or something when I'm in VR doing that part. I'll make another screen for it. But we are going to go back to Mac and me here, and I'm going to put the portable camera down. It's kind of cool the way that works because the OBS has one of the scenes set to have the iPhone camera in it, and it just automatically notices on the iMac that you're trying to use a camera from the iPhone, and then they connect. So like I only have to switch to that scene, and then suddenly my iPhone is now the remote camera for that thing without any extra effort after the initial effort I set up like, a week ago for that. So that continuity camera stuff is pretty cool. So maybe, one of the streams next week, we go in there and do part of that. But I'm thinking the goal is we do our standard, like, we talk about some of the latest stuff, maybe the stuff from last night, later in the day, some of the morning stuff. And then I do my workouts after stream instead of like doing them as the first thing I wake up into. So we'll talk that out. We'll figure it out as we go. So everyone hop on Discord there. We can keep chatting. I would love some new ideas. Anyone wants to throw out stream ideas, by all means, help. I would love it. So that I think is our stream for tonight. So good night, chat. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mac. All of you. We are going to hit the buttons that do the ending thing.